want to see Caitlin treated fairly and appropriately in the league. I would say seems like she can take care of herself. She's a tough player. I think it may be lost on some people who are new to basketball in terms of a little bit of the controversy in the WNBA. What an incredible talent she is, 2 Final Fours, leading scorer, history of college basketball. So I look forward to watching her ongoing development in the league. I think ultimately this is very healthy for women's basketball in the WNBA. It's generating tremendous additional interest. In fairness to the other players and in fairness to Commissioner Engelbert, this didn't just start this year. Certainly we're seeing
weeks of chaos. And now, the biggest name in basketball just walked in. The Caitlin Clark situation has taken over sports media. Players, broadcasters, fans, everyone's been going at it over how physical the WNBA is getting. The league tried to keep things quiet after that Alyssa Thomas incident. Didn't work, because nothing silences the noise like Adam Silver entering the room. The NBA commissioner, the most powerful man in basketball, just stepped into the WNBA drama. And the moment he did, panic spread through the WNBA front office like wildfire. Here's the thing. When a retired player criticizes the league, Commissioner Cathy Engelbert can just release a statement and wait it out. But when the man who just locked in a $77 billion TV deal starts questioning how you protect your biggest star, you don't just listen. You rebuild from scratch. Silver isn't just talking. He's sending a message: protect generational talent or face the consequences. And those consequences, they're coming straight from the billionaire TV executives who literally keep the WNBA alive. Today we're breaking down exactly what Silver's involvement means, why it dismantles everything the old guard of women's basketball stands for, and what corporate ultimatum the WNBA is now staring down. Stay till the end, because this goes deeper than you think.
A generational talent and a WNBA superstar who had 2 cheap shots right there that weren't called. And I just say again, absolutely unacceptable.
Steph, do you think that the league needs to look into how Caitlin Clark is defended or how she's officiated going forward?
I mean, we spent all offseason looking at officiating. All offseason. And I still say the one thing that we keep asking for is consistency. She is not called the same way everybody else is called.
Adam Silver just made one thing crystal clear, and the WNBA is not ready for what's coming. To understand why Silver's involvement hits differently, you have to understand one fundamental truth about how the NBA operates. Silver didn't become the most powerful commissioner in sports by accident. He built his entire legacy on one simple but incredibly profitable idea: protect your stars at all costs, because your stars are your business. Think about it. When you tune into an NBA game, you're not paying to watch a mediocre role player throw cheap shots. You're paying to see Steph Curry pull up from 35 feet. You're paying to watch LeBron James orchestrate something you've never seen before. You're paying for moments that make you jump off your couch at midnight. Silver understood this before anyone else did. That's exactly why he completely restructured NBA officiating around one core principle: freedom of movement. Upper body contact gets called. Landing space violations get called. Dirty enforcer tactics that dominated the 90s. Gone. Eliminated. Because the product only survives if the stars survive. And right now, when Silver looks across at the WNBA, he's watching the exact opposite happening in real time. He's watching a league that has the most exciting rookie phenomenon women's basketball has ever seen. A player who is single-handedly pulling in television numbers that nobody predicted. A player who has turned casual sports fans into die-hard WNBA followers overnight. And instead of wrapping that player in bubble wrap and marketing her to every corner of the globe, the league is standing by while veteran players take turns making her life physically miserable on the court. That contradiction is what pushed Silver to step in. And when Silver steps in, everything changes. Let's talk about what actually happened on that court, because the footage doesn't lie. Alyssa Thomas, a veteran who's been in this league long enough to know exactly what she was doing. In a sequence that had absolutely no basketball justification, she drove concentrated body weight and a closed fist directly into the throat and upper chest of a grounded, completely defenseless Caitlin Clark. That alone should have ended the conversation. But it didn't stop there. Moments later, Clark rises to attempt a three-pointer. Her landing space, the zone that every shooter in the world is entitled to come down safely into, gets completely obliterated. She crashes to the hardwood. Her back takes the impact. And suddenly, the league's most valuable player is limping toward the sideline with an injury that forced her completely out of the lineup. Now pause. Take that exact sequence and place it in an NBA arena. A veteran enforcer wraps his forearm around Steph Curry's throat, then immediately destroys his landing space on a jump shot. What happens next? The offending player is gone, ejected on the spot. The suspension that follows isn't one game. It's multiple games, it's unpaid, and it's announced with a press conference so the entire world understands the league takes player safety seriously. The officiating crew gets reviewed, scrutinized, and held accountable for letting things escalate that far. And here's what makes this even more significant. Silver didn't just create those rules out of thin air. He rebuilt the NBA rulebook from the ground up after Kawhi Leonard suffered a catastrophic injury from a landing space violation. He looked at that moment and said never again. He put it in writing, trained his officials around it, and enforced it with zero tolerance. The WNBA. They watched Clark get taken out by the exact same type of violation and didn't blow a single whistle in real time. The suspension that eventually came. One game. One. After the national media had already burned the league's reputation to the ground. That gap between how the NBA handles these moments and how the WNBA handles them is precisely what Adam Silver is now forcing the league to confront. Now some people will argue that Silver has no business inserting himself into women's basketball, that the WNBA is its own league with its own culture and its own identity. And on the surface, that sounds reasonable. But here's what that argument completely ignores. The NBA has financially kept the WNBA alive for decades. Through the early years when the league was hemorrhaging money, when arenas were half empty, when television deals were minimal, the NBA was the financial backbone holding everything together. That relationship didn't just disappear because the WNBA started growing. And now look at the new media deal. That $1 billion broadcasting agreement the WNBA recently celebrated. It wasn't negotiated in isolation. It was bundled strategically alongside the NBA's own television rights package, the same $77 billion deal that cemented Silver's legacy as the greatest dealmaker in sports history. Amazon didn't write that check out of goodwill. NBC didn't show up because they suddenly discovered a passion for women's basketball. These are billion-dollar corporations making calculated business decisions. And their calculation was simple. Caitlin Clark drives viewers. Caitlin Clark trends on social media. Caitlin Clark fills seats, moves merchandise, and creates the kind of cultural moments that justify premium advertising rates. She is the asset. She is the reason the number on that contract has 9 figures. So when Silver watches the WNBA's officiating crew allow that asset to get her throat grabbed and her landing space destroyed without consequence, he isn't just watching a basketball game. He is watching a direct threat to a multi-billion-dollar television investment he spent years constructing. If Clark keeps absorbing unprotected hits from veteran enforcers, if she eventually goes down with a serious injury that keeps her off the court for an extended period, the ratings crater. The broadcasting partners start making phone calls. The corporate sponsorships get reevaluated. And the entire momentum that women's basketball has spent years building evaporates overnight. Silver isn't stepping in because he's emotional about it. He's stepping in because the math demands it. And what makes his intervention even more powerful is the way he's spoken publicly about Clark. Silver is not someone who throws out praise casually. He chooses his words deliberately. But he has openly stated on national platforms that Clark has completely set the world on fire. That kind of language from Adam Silver isn't small talk. It's a signal. It tells you exactly how seriously the highest levels of sports business are taking her impact. Clark has done something no WNBA player has ever done. She didn't just grow the sport's existing fan base. She created an entirely new one. She pulled people in who never watched a women's basketball game in their life. She created mainstream cultural relevance at a level that puts her in the same conversation as the biggest names in global sports. And that's what makes the current WNBA political environment so baffling to anyone watching from the outside. The league just won the lottery. They have a generational talent who fell into their lap, and is rewriting every metric they track. Viewership numbers, attendance records, merchandise sales, social media engagement. Every single number is moving in the right direction because of one player. And yet, there's a faction inside the league that seems more interested in making her earn some kind of unwritten respect through physical punishment than in protecting the golden opportunity standing right in front of them. Veterans who feel threatened by what her presence means for the league's identity. Players who have spent years grinding in relative obscurity and now feel overshadowed by someone who arrived and immediately changed everything. That resentment is human. It's understandable, but it cannot be allowed to dictate how the league is run. And it absolutely cannot be allowed to put the physical safety of the sport's most important player at risk. Silver's message to the WNBA couldn't be clearer if he sent it in writing with his signature at the bottom. Kathy Engelbert and the WNBA front office now have one decision to make. One real choice sitting in front of them. Option 1. Keep protecting the locker room culture. Keep letting veterans operate by a different set of physical rules. Keep issuing one-game suspensions that nobody takes seriously and hoping the media cycle moves on. Watch the broadcasting partners grow impatient. Watch the sponsors start reassessing their investments. Watch the ratings decline as the product on the floor becomes more about surviving physical punishment than showcasing elite athletic skill. And ultimately watch the most important growth moment in the league's history slip away because nobody had the courage to make a hard call. Option 2. Adopt the blueprint that Silver built and made billions from. Enforce landing space protection with absolute consistency. Make it unmistakably clear that a closed fist to the throat results in a suspension that actually hurts. Establish that veteran status grants you nothing when it comes to player safety violations. Build the kind of officiating culture where stars are protected not because they're popular, but because protecting stars is how you build a sustainable, globally relevant sports product. The WNBA is standing at a crossroads right now that it will never stand at again. This moment, this specific window where mainstream attention is locked in, where broadcasting money is flowing, where a once-in-a-generation talent is actively playing, doesn't come around twice. Adam Silver didn't step into this conversation to make friends. He stepped in because billions of dollars and the future of professional basketball are on the line. And he is not the kind of man who watches a billion-dollar investment get mismanaged without saying something about it. The question is whether the WNBA is actually listening. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Adam Silver has the right to demand better protection for Caitlin Clark? Or should the WNBA handle its own business without outside interference? Drop your take in the comments right now. I'm reading every single one. If this breakdown opened your eyes to what's really happening behind the scenes, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you never miss when we go this deep on the stories that actually matter. Because we're just getting started, and the next one is even bigger.